Imagine peering into the darkness of space, billions of light years away, only to uncover a secret so profound, it challenges everything we thought we knew about the universe. Now, imagine the technology capable of revealing that secret, not in science fiction but in real life. This isn't a scene from a movie. This is the story of NASA's James Webb Space Telescope. And its latest discovery? It might just change the future of science, space exploration, and humanity itself. But here's the catch. None of this would be possible without the continued funding of NASA. Let's dive into why this latest revelation is not only a triumph of science, but also a clear, urgent call to invest in the one agency that continues to unlock the mysteries of the cosmos. The James Webb Space Telescope, launched in December 2021, has quickly become one of the most revolutionary tools in the history of astronomy. Its unmatched infrared sensitivity and cutting-edge optics have allowed it to capture images of galaxies formed just a few 100 million years after the Big Bang. For the first time in human history, we are looking at light that has traveled for over 13 billion years to reach us. This telescope is not just observing stars, it's observing the dawn of existence itself. But what makes its latest discovery so compelling isn't just the age of what it's seen. It's what it's seen. Scientists recently announced that the James Webb has spotted a cluster of galaxies forming in ways we previously thought impossible. These ancient galactic structures are so dense and massive, they defy current cosmological models. It's as if nature has rewritten the rules of the universe, and Webb is our first clue. This isn't just another pretty picture from space. This is a cosmic wake-up call. The discovery raises a flood of questions. How did such massive galaxies form so soon after the Big Bang? Are our models of dark matter and dark energy incorrect? Could there be a new force of nature that we haven't accounted for? These aren't just academic questions. These are the fundamental mysteries of how reality works. And the only way to get closer to the answers is through more observations, more missions, and yes, more funding. NASA, often seen by critics as a luxury expense, is proving once again that it's anything but. The James Webb Telescope cost around $10 billion to build and launch. A steep price tag, no doubt. But consider this, that amount is less than what the world spends on soft drinks every few weeks. And in return, we get answers to questions that have puzzled humanity for millennia. Every time we look into space, we look into our past. The light captured by James Webb doesn't just show us stars. It shows us the building blocks of our own existence. Carbon, oxygen, nitrogen, the elements that make up your body and mine, were forged in ancient stars billions of years ago. When we fund missions like the Webb Telescope, we're not just exploring space. We're exploring our own origin story. The latest data also points towards something even more mind-bending. Scientists believe they may have spotted early signs of planetary systems forming around these young galaxies. This means the ingredients for life might have appeared far earlier than we ever expected. If that's true, the implications are staggering. It means the universe may be teeming with life, and we're only just beginning to uncover where to look. And here's where it all ties back to funding. None of these discoveries happen in a vacuum. They require decades of planning, collaboration across nations, and yes, substantial financial backing. NASA's budget represents less than 0.5% of the U.S. federal budget. Yet with that tiny slice, it has delivered some of the most astonishing scientific achievements in human history. Imagine what we could discover if we doubled that budget. Or tripled it. Imagine new space telescopes, more Mars missions, asteroid mining, lunar bases, and perhaps, one day, a human stepping foot on a distant exoplanet. The possibilities are endless. But they all start with one simple decision: to invest. The James Webb Telescope is the most powerful eye we've ever turned toward the stars. And it's telling us that the universe is far more complex, mysterious, and full of wonder than we ever imagined. But to keep seeing, to keep discovering, we need to keep believing. And that belief must translate into action. Into support, into policy, and into funding. Because here's the truth, every dollar spent on space science is a dollar spent on the future. It fuels innovation, inspires the next generation, and reminds us that humanity is capable of more than just surviving. We are built to explore. The James Webb Telescope has now pushed us to reconsider the very foundations of cosmology. While previous missions like Hubble gave us a taste of the vastness and mystery of the cosmos, Webb has unlocked a new realm of clarity. One of its recent observations includes detecting light signatures from molecules that may only form under extreme and rare cosmic conditions. Conditions that challenge our known theories about the early universe. Some researchers speculate that the telescope might have captured evidence of so-called population 3 stars, hypothetical stars made entirely of hydrogen and helium, believed to be the first stars ever formed. Detecting these would be groundbreaking because until now they've remained purely theoretical. Their existence would confirm a long-standing prediction in astrophysics and help fill in the gaps between the Big Bang and the creation of heavier elements. This kind of potential discovery is more than just academic trivia. It speaks to the roots of cosmic evolution. If Webb can find these ancient stellar fossils, we'll have proof that our universe followed a very specific evolutionary path, and that we can trace it back more accurately than ever before. And again, these leaps forward in knowledge only happen when we commit to funding missions that push technological and scientific limits. And let's not forget the ripple effects on Earth. Technologies developed for telescopes like Webb often lead to advances in other fields: medical imaging, AI algorithms, climate monitoring, and more. The space race of the 1960s gave us satellite communications and GPS. Today's space explorations are seeding breakthroughs we haven't even imagined yet. But the road to discovery isn't always smooth. Webb's development was plagued by delays, budget overruns, and technical challenges. Many critics questioned whether it was worth the effort. But now, seeing what the telescope has accomplished, it's clear that the wait and the cost were justified. Scientific progress is rarely linear or cheap, but it is essential. The Webb telescope is also reshaping our understanding of time. By looking at galaxies billions of light-years away, we're not just seeing distant places, we're seeing distant times. We're watching events that happened before Earth even existed. This ability to see backward through time gives scientists a timeline of cosmic evolution. And with each new snapshot, the timeline grows clearer. There's something deeply poetic about it too. As we peer into the distant past, we also glimpse our potential future. If life can arise elsewhere, and it seems increasingly likely that it can, then we may not be alone in this vast cosmos. Webb might not just help us find planets, it might help us find neighbors. And that brings us to one of the telescope's most publicized capabilities, the study of exoplanet atmospheres. With its infrared sensors, Webb can analyze the chemical makeup of planets orbiting distant stars. It can detect water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, all the ingredients we associate with life. Already, Webb has scanned several exoplanets that lie within their star's habitable zone. What if it finds biosignatures? What if it finds something that can't be explained by geology alone? The mere possibility of detecting alien life, no matter how simple, should be enough to unify humanity under a banner of curiosity and wonder. But it won't happen unless we support the institutions doing the work. Funding NASA is not just about exploring space. It's about understanding our place in the universe. We also need to address the common misconception that space exploration is a luxury in a world full of problems. Yes, we face pressing issues like poverty, disease, and climate change. But these problems require solutions, and history has shown that investing in science leads to those solutions. From weather forecasting to global communications, the benefits of space research have touched every part of modern life. And more importantly, exploration lifts the human spirit. It gives us goals bigger than ourselves. When a child sees images from the James Webb Telescope, they don't just see stars. They see possibilities. They see a future worth working toward. And that inspiration might just be the spark that leads to the next great scientist, engineer, or astronaut. So what comes next? NASA and its partners have already proposed new missions to build on Webb's discoveries. These include next-generation space observatories that could detect Earth-like planets with even greater precision, or map the dark matter scaffolding of the universe. But none of this will happen without vision and funding. In the coming years, policymakers will decide whether NASA receives the resources it needs to continue pushing the boundaries. And that decision will echo far beyond Washington. It will determine whether we continue to lead in space exploration, or watch from the sidelines. Because here's the bottom line on Mole. Space exploration is not about escaping Earth. It's about understanding Earth. It's about using the vantage point of space to improve life below. And it's about ensuring that humanity doesn't just survive the future, we thrive in it. Let the James Webb Telescope be our reminder that the universe is still full of wonder, mystery, and possibility. And that with the right investment, the next discovery could be even more extraordinary. The journey of discovery doesn't end with a single mission, and the James Webb Space Telescope, JWST, is the clearest evidence yet that we've only just scratched the surface of what's out there. With each revelation, it reminds us that we stand on the threshold of a new era in scientific discovery, one that promises not only to deepen our understanding of the cosmos, but also to expand the boundaries of what humanity can achieve. And that makes a powerful case. Funding NASA isn't just an investment in space, it's an investment in our future. The James Webb's latest findings go beyond images of ancient galaxies or colorful nebulae. They delve into the fundamental questions of existence. One of the most surprising observations from the telescope was a set of high-redshift galaxies. Objects so distant, their light began its journey to us over 13 billion years ago. But these galaxies aren't small, dim, or primitive like scientists predicted. Instead, they're large, surprisingly complex, and packed with stars. This has stunned astronomers. If such massive structures could form that quickly after the Big Bang, it implies that our understanding of early cosmic evolution is incomplete. This is where NASA's role becomes irreplaceable. The space agency doesn't just launch rockets or send astronauts into orbit. It builds tools like JWST that are designed to confront the hardest questions in physics and astronomy. Without continued support, these questions remain unanswered, and the pace of human discovery slows. NASA's continued innovation helps fuel breakthroughs in both theory and technology. The deeper we look, the more we realize how much we still don't know. Take, for instance, the unexpected detection of complex carbon-based molecules in early galaxies. These are organic compounds, possible precursors to life, that shouldn't exist in such young cosmic environments based on current models. But there they are, staring back at us from billions of light-years away. Their presence suggests either faster chemical evolution than predicted or entirely new astrophysical processes at play. Both possibilities force a re-evaluation of our cosmological assumptions, and only more data from telescopes like Webb can offer clarity. As we piece together these cosmic puzzles, the question becomes, who will continue this journey? Other nations are rapidly developing their space programs. China has a growing lunar presence. The European Space Agency is planning missions to Jupiter's moons. Private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are changing the landscape of space travel. But NASA remains the leader in deep space exploration, and that leadership depends on sustained investment. There's a human angle to all of this as well. Every image and data set from JWST passes through the hands of scientists, engineers, programmers, students, and educators. Each pixel of a galaxy represents the work of thousands of dedicated professionals. Funding NASA doesn't just mean financing rockets. It means investing in people. In careers, in STEM education, in the next generation of visionaries who will take us even farther. And those investments have ripple effects. The technologies pioneered for the James Webb Telescope, such as ultra-sensitive sensors, precision cryogenics, and high-performance computing, have already begun finding applications in other fields. Medicine, environmental science, and even agriculture benefit from NASA-developed innovations. We're not just talking about outer space. We're talking about improving life on Earth. Let's talk about exoplanets again because it's one of Webb's most anticipated contributions. The telescope has already begun studying the atmospheres of exoplanets, those distant worlds orbiting stars beyond our Sun. By analyzing how starlight filters through a planet's atmosphere, scientists can determine its chemical composition. And some of what JWST is finding is extraordinary. One exoplanet shows signs of water vapor in an atmosphere rich in carbon dioxide. Another appears to have clouds of silicate, yes, rock clouds. Imagine standing under a sky where it literally rains molten glass. These discoveries sound like science fiction, but they're happening right now. Each one pushes us closer to answering one of humanity's oldest questions. Are we alone? And that's the emotional core of this conversation. There's a kind of poetry in looking up and wondering if someone, or something, might be looking back. JWST brings us closer to that moment than ever before. The discovery of even microbial life would revolutionize biology, philosophy, and religion. But again, it only happens if we fund the missions that make those discoveries possible. One might argue that space exploration is a distraction in times of economic and social struggle. But history tells us that investments in science often lead to economic growth, new industries, and improved quality of life. The Apollo program of the 1960s cost billions, but it inspired a generation, advanced computing, and led to the birth of entire tech sectors. JWST has the potential to do the same. We are building a future, and it begins with curiosity. JWST's mission is scheduled to last at least 10 years, possibly more. But in that decade, it will generate petabytes of data, discover thousands of new objects, and transform our understanding of the universe. We will map the cosmic web of galaxies, study black holes in unprecedented detail, and even explore the possibility of habitable moons in our own solar system. These aren't distant dreams. They are plans in motion. So, what can we do to ensure this momentum continues? Support policies that increase NASA's funding. Advocate for STEM education in schools. Watch the launches. Share the discoveries. Remind your community that space exploration is not just for scientists and labs. It's for everyone. It's a collective human achievement, a symbol of what we can accomplish when we work together. Imagine a future where telescopes orbiting distant stars send back images of new Earths. Imagine spacecraft powered by nuclear fusion exploring the outer solar system. Imagine international lunar bases where research is done not in weeks, but over generations. These dreams are possible. But only if we support the path that leads us there. The James Webb Telescope is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of a new chapter. One that could redefine how we see ourselves and our place in the cosmos. But every chapter needs authors. It needs vision. It needs investment. This discovery, this window into the very birth of galaxies, is a gift. And we owe it to ourselves and to future generations to keep that window open. In the grand timeline of the universe, human civilization is just a flicker. But in that flicker we've built machines that see across time. We've developed theories that explain the origins of space and time itself. And we've dared to ask the biggest questions of all. Where did we come from? What else is out there? Are we alone? With the James Webb Space Telescope, we are one step closer to answering those questions. And that makes the case stronger than ever. We must fund NASA, support space science, and continue reaching for the stars. Because our future doesn't just lie on Earth. It lies out there, among the stars, in the void, in the wonder. And thanks to James Webb, we can see it clearer than ever before.